This is a relatively new concept for Canadians. Although in Europe, it's been around for quite some time. It seems like we have the managers, the managers of this fund and the Clean Energy Fund. They're based in Geneva, in Switzerland. And they came to Canada about a month ago giving a presentation to investment advisors. And everybody in the room was saying, don't you think you're a little bit too early? And the guy, the manager was like, well, that's weird. I mean, in Europe, everybody says, don't you think you're too late? You know, European and also people living in China and India, they've been living with water scarcity. And there's so much money being invested in this sector right now. About $1 trillion is forecasted to be invested over the next 5 years in various areas of the water industry. So there's a huge opportunity, and you can take advantage by investing in a fund like this. There are actually only 3 funds in the world that invest in water-related companies. It's a new concept for Canadians, but definitely to the rest of the world, it's not new. And we're starting to see the impact of water shortages even here in Canada. In the US, they have massive problems. So it's basically driven by 4 drivers. One is there's an imbalance between demand and supply. Realize the demand for water is increasing at twice the rate of the population growth. And the huge factor is China. China is creating a middle class. Middle class eat better, they shower more often, they eat more, so they have to consume more water. 78% of water consumption is for agricultural purposes. So it's creating water stresses worldwide. There was a report put in by one of the biggest banks in the States saying that within the next 15 years, 65% of the global population will be under severe water stress. So basically not having water. A lot of money is being spent on the infrastructure, both from developed countries. I mean, the infrastructure is falling apart. I'm sure you've heard Ontario is dealing with lead pipes that needs to be replaced. In your kit here, I put an article from the Windsor Star showing a pipe cut off in 2 and looking at the muggy stuff in the pipe. And that is basically the pipe that goes to your house. Toronto, which is not really old compared to Paris or London or Detroit, we're still using wooden pipes. Unbelievable. In the States, they're using wood barrel reservoirs underground. They're using asbestos cement in their infrastructure, which is totally banned. So the States have to spend $500 billion to fix the crumbling infrastructure. Montreal passed a $15 billion budget to be spent over the next 10 years just to fix the infrastructure. Montreal, when you flush the toilet, it goes right in the St. Laurent. No filtration. In many places in the Montreal area, it's like that. Yeah, so there's a lot of money that is going into water filtration, new technology, and so on. And when you look at Europe, they have to spend 330 billion euros. And then you add China and India that is booming, and they have to build an infrastructure that simply does not exist at this point. One of the top holding in this portfolio is called Veolia Environment. It's a French-based company, largest water supplier in the world. And they won a contract given by the Chinese government to figure out how they're going to bring water to 3.3 million people. So China is booming really fast, but sometimes they build buildings before knowing where they're going to take the water from.